takes people out into the field and has to be there live interact with their eyewitness Sasquatch. This is my December 22nd live show. Very excited to be here today. We're going to have lots of great questions. It's the holiday season. I'm a big winter guy. Love winter, love Christmas. Having an excellent couple days here. So I thought I'd start the show talking about. So this is how big this is. This is huge. So this is 17-inch track that Jeff Meldrum has pictures with. It's the exact one. It's the replica, and I just wanted to really express to y'all how absolutely profound and amazing this evidence is. I I see tracks like this. I've seen this footprint in Saskatchewan, Alberta, British Columbia. I've seen not the full birth of this size yet in Washington State, but I believe it was a 14-inch version of this that we saw. And I mean like this is the 17. This is a big male um, specifically, and then all the way we saw what was it, a 15-inch track like this in the Adirondacks of New York. I've seen 17-inch tracks exactly like this in Montana. So this is just amazing evidence. I just wanted to take a minute to really talk about the Jimmy Chilcott, where he analyzed the dermal ridges, and the extreme gratitude I have for Jeff Meldrum, for him and his track collection. That is absolutely amazing, fantastic evidence. That this is so important evidence. You might think it's funny, and people kind of mock people that do Sasquatch research because of this. We cast tracks. I have never cast a track of this caliber because I do my research primarily in the Rocky Mountains, and we don't get tracks like this. And then the other spots I've had tremendous success in are the foothills of Alberta, close to the mountains of Jasper, and we have sphagnum moss there. And I've seen these tracks, but they're just not castable. To get this kind of, you need the perfect substrate. Like, it can't be too soft, it can't be too hard. This is an incredible, amazing, brilliant track. And but what I want to talk about a little bit more today, is not discussed quite a bit, is the hands. Look at that. See the fingers there? This is now, I don't really have a point of reference to exactly tell you the age of this individual, but I am going to speculate that this individual, based on my experience, is an adolescent male. I say male because of the thickness of the fingers and the size they're coming into. Um, but I don't think this would be smaller than this guy would put out. So, in fact, I would speculate 14-inch hand, 14-inch track, approximately 14 years old, and that really is holding true in my research. Is by the time they get to be 17, 18 years old, 17, 18-year-old males produce 17-inch, 17 and a half inch if they're huge, maybe 18 if they're in Alaska, enormous tracks. And then it just seems like 16 is 16 years old, 15 is about 15. It really falls in that scale. And I'm seeing my accuracy based on all my significant amount of research to really just, I think it's plus or minus 1 year. When I see a 15-inch track, it could be a 16-year-old or it could be a 14-year-old, but plus or minus 1 year, I think it's tight. I think it's really, really tight, and that's a good learning lesson for people that are doing research. If you see, so the other thing too is the thickness of this foot. This is thick. This is a male. Boys are just thicker, right? They get bigger. So the Patterson female, which I have a track of, is a fully grown female, and she's only about 15 inches. So it's called sexual dimorphism, and what that means is that males are typically larger than the females. So, but and when you have sexual dimorphism, like with lions and gorillas, then you have dominant males, and that's why I lean towards that theory. But I've had it tested, and I've had people challenge me on it, and I really appreciate that. So let's go into some questions. Hello, Kyle. Thank you for tuning in. Hello, Kyla. Merry Christmas, everybody. How's it going? Everything's going good. Merry Christmas, everyone. Are footprints always obvious? Absolutely not. You know what? That is such a good question, because in my experience, when you're dealing with the greatest trackers that have ever lived, this is something that's so important that I've really come to deduce and understand. These guys like to play, just like gorillas and chimpanzees and orangutans and people. They like to play, and the greatest trackers in the world will verse each other with tracking skills. Now, do you understand how iron sharpens iron? These guys live and breathe tracking. They're born and raised with it. From a small age, they'll try to get away from their dad and their mom. The greatest trackers that have ever lived will verse each other their whole lives. So the Sasquatch will compete with one another. It's got to happen, guys. It's got to be happening. I'm 99.9999% convinced that these guys verse each other for tracking, and now you got the greatest trackers in the world versing each other. So my point is with this is, when you find a track, they goddamn well left it for you. They just know it's there. They either knew they were leaving it in absolute clarity, or they left it for you on purpose. And I usually lean towards they leave it on purpose. I have seen them, and I guess there are exceptions. I remember going way back into the backcountry of Banff, or even into Nordegg. I did a real special backcountry. I went backcountry with William Malpass, like a special forces firefighter, captain, beast, just a tough dude who does 24-hour mountain bike race, and just the guy is like fit and beastly. And he came out with me. It was just him and I. He was like, "Let's grind. Let's go backcountry." So we pushed hard, and we found a trackway of a young Sasquatch, a 13-inch track where he was just walking along, having a good time, jumped across a creek. It was amazing. It was so fantastic to find that trackway. Um, and in that circumstance, he's walking around in an area so infinitely remote. The odds of a human being coming along there are one in never. Like, you know what I mean? Nobody goes backcountry. Not even, rarely do I go backcountry like that. And if I do, the odds of me coming across that moment in that trackway is really, really special. So, and I'll tell you something else too. Um, so I've been having enormous difficulties with just personal stuff going on, a horrible divorce and child custody battle that's over. And so my point is, years ago when I was really clean, I would find energy, and I would gravitate towards places, and I was following energy. And I was in a little bit of denial about it, but I always said, let's go over here. I called it my inspiration, but I was really feeling energy to go. So I was able to pick up tracks from a Sasquatch that I mean, Survivor Man questioned me a couple times. He's like, "Man, you just keep going to these tracks. It's almost like you know they're there." And what he was saying by that, and what people will say is, "Well, I'm planting them there," but that's crap. That's garbage. Uh, it's not possible. And after, in time, Survivor Man started to realize that's crap. There's no way I was planting tracks. And the expeditioners that come out with me, the thing is, most of the time, the initial inspiration to go somewhere is them. So you have 360 degrees, and I'll say, "So where do you want to go, guys? This is your day. Let's do something." I remember doing this with Jonathan, a U.S. Military Ranger. "Where do you want to go today, guys? What do you want to do?" And that day he said, "I want to go over there." And I'd never been in that particular exact direction before. And went there, and we had amazing discoveries. We found tracks and crazy line of tree breaks. It was amazing. It was his favorite part of the discovery process. My point is, though, so we get out there and he goes in that direction, and then I let the energy pull me. And then I find the tracks and I find the tree breaks. But until he picked that direction, I had 360 degrees. And plus, it was, a couple miles into the backcountry bush where nobody ever goes. So Cody, who was there, and I don't think Scout was there yet. He was late on the expedition, but Cody and Jonathan, who were on that expedition, just one example of 50 different examples I can give you where it's impossible for me to have done that stuff. I'm just trying to get rid of the crazy stuff that people say. But anyways, I feel like I'm back. I feel like I'm getting centered. I'm really working on my energy, my feelings, my thoughts. That stuff matters immensely. So, and 2022 or 2021 was a good year, a really good year. We had some incredible success. I think the fact that the apples are getting taken again, And the cool structure they made for me and the amazing interactions were fantastic. Just totally fantastic. No new footage in 2021 of Sasquatch specifically, but the other, probably the most important thing, is the way the cooperation has grown with these amazing new people. So I wanted it so badly. I wanted guys that were just regulars that were coming out here and doing the research, men and women that I trust immensely. And God, we've grown. I've got like, a dozen men and women that I just trust and are awesome, and they're kicking ass and they're going out there and they're doing things. And so that was a really big goal of mine. But anyways, this all sprouted up from that question about going all the way back to it, of the gentleman who asked about the track. So let's keep going here. What's the biggest track you ever found, Todd? 18 inches. Another good question. And it was in Golden Ears Park in British Columbia. I was with Randy Brisson, and we found a solid 18, like 17. It was just 18 inches. It was hard for me to swallow. There were a couple of tracks, and there was a little bit of slide in some of them, so 18 and a half, but I knew that wasn't 18 and a half, and I didn't bar it. And then I got to that 18-inch track, which is hard. And then Randy came up with it. Randy, one of the most amazing people I have ever worked with, if not the most amazing backcountry wilderness guy in his own area I've ever seen. Like, he knew every trail, everything. The guy is just, his wealth of knowledge. Once it's gone, it's gone. Like, the guy is, it's unbelievable, all the stuff that he knows about. Trained by natives, he's got lots of native blood in him. Anyways, he told me there's such thing as a 24-inch track, and I was like, I think I've talked about this before. I never saw those, but I'll sit here and go. I'll talk about my own difficulty with it. Is Randy's never deceived me. Randy's perfectly honest. Randy always tells the truth. Randy has pushed through paradigms where I said that's not true, and he proved to me it was true. Like 4 different big things that have changed with me. And but I just, this 5th one, we never saw that 24-inch track, and I have so much trouble believing that there's a Sasquatch that big. But so just in my experience, I'm telling you, the best boots on the ground Sasquatch researcher I have ever worked with. Boots on the ground in the bush, like, who knows his terrain, amazing, like, just brilliant man. He says there's 24-inch tracks out there, and I'll just leave it at that, right? Just so hard. It's so hard, right? Can you buy a copy of that track? If you see Jeff Meldrum, you can get a copy. Well, even just so you know why I'm not selling these things. I may in the future, but if you look at my tracks, I just took this home from Mississippi and it busted up, like, badly. Oh, look at the back. Look, it's all busted up. So it doesn't transport well. I mean, it's a solid, well-made cast, but shipping is such a pain in the ass. It's so difficult. But I'll consider that. I'll talk to Jeff Meldrum about that. So, but if you ever see Jeff Meldrum, if he's speaking anywhere, he always has tons of these tracks. Get to him fast, though. My suggestion: if you ever see Jeff Meldrum speaking, find out when he'll always have a booth, because he always has stuff, merchandise, always. Just get there early, and you'll make sure you get some of these amazing tracks he's got. This is all from Jeff Meldrum. This is Jeff Meldrum. The female, the Patterson track is from Jeff Meldrum. I had to get that stuff. Are you kidding me? That stuff is wow. That stuff is so important because it's so legit, right? Yeah, I'm happy to have shared the track, Rodney. Hey, Andy, thanks for coming in. Appreciate having you here today. Come down to Cali, bro. Oh, well, that's California Bigfoot. That's the next documentary. I'm halfway done it. Netflix and my distributor are screaming for it. It's California Bigfoot. It's fun, guys. It's a fun documentary. It's not about great Sasquatch footage. It's got Sasquatch footage, but it's fun. Like, some fun stuff happens, and yeah, Sasquatch latches onto me to squeeze the life out of me. So it's just it's fun to be looking at some of the crazy stuff that I've gotten to experience. So, hi from Georgia mountains. Awesome. You said recently you heard sounds like the Sierra sounds in your research area. That's correct. This is the first time you heard that gibberish language. Oh, no gibberish. The Sierra sounds I'm talking are like woo, woo. I'm doing a horrible rendition of it, but it's not gibberish. It's not. We never heard that. Nothing like that. I've never heard Sasquatch. I'm very skeptical about those sounds. So there's nothing gibberish about this. It's a very beautiful woo. it's beautiful. And even more information about that sound that we heard, that Sierra-like sound, is, and I've heard that. So I heard it on an expedition this year. Actually, 2 years ago, when I was in a different part of my research area, we heard the unreal Sierra sounds. It's just that it's that beautiful. It was just like the Sierra sounds. So it's not the first time I've heard it. I've heard it like 5 or 6 times. It's a really beautiful call, and I'm very, very certain the Sierra sounds are not gibberish. They're nothing like that. They're a beautiful, nice call. Look them up, or even I bet you somebody out here will have a link for it, right? So it's time to start searching for the answers in better places out of the box. I completely agree with you. Great late Christmas gift. Oh, the Jake and Jane photographs, man. People are getting those like crazy. I don't have any. Yeah, we did great with that though. Thank you so much for all the people that got on that, and we're still doing those Jake and Jane photographs. It's oh my gosh, even it's on my phone. This is my phone. It's on my phone. I had Matt showed me where he's got the pictures up on a wall. He's got them nicely framed. He's got a nice track beside it. It's beautiful stuff. It would be my dream someday to cast a track like this. Got to be smart about it. So there's a problem with that though, is the Sasquatch have to gift me a track. You must understand that. I can't verse them. I tried to trick them once. I successfully tricked them once to leave tracks. Went down the hill, so I had beautiful tracks. They followed me through this beautiful clay area, left the most amazing tracks I've ever seen, better than these. And it was a 16-inch Jake and a 14-inch Jacob, and then they covered them. So, and I just don't want to verse them, guys. I hope you can understand that. I've seen a lot of footprints, but never seen no handprints like that. Cool. And you know what else is really cool? Is they did fingerprints, and man, those fingerprints match this. So Jeff Meldrum's gonna have a look at that. So I got to send that off to him. I'm really excited to do that because they're dermals on these fingerprints, and they're so weird the way the fingerprints hit you. In fact, it's on my Instagram page. You should be able to see it through Facebook. I'll post about that again, because Jeff's the man when it comes to stuff like that. So, and he's very interested. So, what's the tallest Sasquatch you ever came across? Keep up the great work. I think, you know what? I think I filmed him. It's video 6. That Sasquatch who has his back to me. That's not the dominant male in that group. And I think he's the tallest I've ever been. I think that guy was like 9'6". In fact, I'm kind of scared to take the measurements. If you just watch my movie Discovering Bigfoot, I'm 6'3". Well, you can't tell. I mean, I can jump pretty high. And man, like when I hold my arm up in the air, just holding my arm up in the air, I happen to know for a fact that when I hold my arm up in the air, it's 8'6", and I can easily jump 12 inches, no problem. So I'm jumping 12 inches, guys. And actually, yeah, that's got to be a 9'6" Sasquatch. That guy's a beast. Maybe even taller. Like always when I give my measurements, I'm gonna hit the bottom because he might be 9'8", but oh my God, that's huge. He's such a beast, that guy. But he's not he's not as bulky. He doesn't have the same build as the dominant male of that group. The dominant male of that group is about 9'2". So I got to take a measurement of that video 6. It's very irresponsible of me not to. I'm just scared because they're so big. Yeah, he's so big. Somebody put me to task in California when I was down in California. Said, "Come here, jump on that wall and touch it." I was like, "I don't want to," because I knew what he was doing, right? So, and I think we did do that. He made me do a little jump, and yeah, the number scared me. So I don't remember what it was. I just try to block it out because they're so big, guys. I have to deal with this. Like this is, for me, this is not, some armchair quarterback thing. I deal with these guys. These Sasquatch are out there. So it's when you see how big they are, like this track is a poor representation of how gosh darn enormous they are. Just as an amazing example, Jeff Meldrum had a TV show build a Sasquatch, the precise proportions that he believes they are, which I completely agree with. I think he's very accurate. And as soon as he saw it, the skeleton, he was so mad. He's like, "Oh my God, you guys botched it all. We spent all this time and all that money, and that's the skeleton." And it was way too big. It can't be that big. And they're like, Jeff, settle down, settle down. It's the exact measurements you gave us. And he went out and he started out with a measuring tape, but he just couldn't believe how, when you see how big they are, It'll blow your mind. The day you come across a fully grown male Sasquatch, your your whole life will change. They are freaking enormous and they are obscenely powerful. I have so much admiration for they are freaking huge. Like I've played, in the professional leagues of football. I've seen 330-pound men, 6'9" beasts. I've played football with them. We've hit each other, you know. This is another level, like, an enormous man, 350 pounds, 6'9". And I wrestle with these guys. I play football with them. But really, I'm 6'3". They're 6'9". Nobody really taller than 6'9", 6'8". And then, I'm 200. I was 240 pounds when I played football. And these guys they're 100 pounds more than me, which is pretty significant because they're really well built, big guys. But when you talk about a Sasquatch, 9'2", and then not 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 900 pounds, guys. 3 times the size of these giant men. So I don't want to name names of people that I've worked with, but a 330-pound man is 1/3 the size. If you saw a 330-pound man, like built, like muscles and power, and you saw what they can do, these are strong men. These are the strongest men in the whole world. They're 1/3 the size of a Sasquatch, and I'd say about, honestly, 1/10 the power these men are to a Sasquatch. A Sasquatch would throw them around like a little rag doll chump. They're nothing. These guys are beasts. So I had somebody talking to me about that just recently. I don't remember. Maybe it was not even on a live show where somebody was saying, hey, you should go show them how strong you are. Because I can do strongman stuff. I can lift up those, I like those Atlas stones. I love the Atlas stones. I can pick up the 300-pound Atlas stones and put them on there. So like, you should go show off to the Sasquatch. I'm like, are you kidding me? A 300-pound Atlas stone, they'd spin it on their finger. It'd be nothing. I'm not even kidding. So the power I've seen from them is ridiculous. So they are that. That's one of the 100 reasons I'm so darn passionate about this subject, because the Sasquatch are absolutely astonishing and amazing and mind-blowing. And I was working with people higher ups, really high up people that are like, they do X-Men and DC stuff, the big superhero movies. And I'm like, why are you guys doing that? There's superheroes out there that'll bust Wolverine a new ass that live right out here. We should do a Sasquatch movie, not about fake superheroes. Let's do something about these guys that are real. So, Todd, how big is that one footprint you have? It's 17-inch, this footprint. Have you ever considered tracking Jake? Oh, Jake is gone. Yeah, Jake is totally gone. Like, there's no tracking him. I could never track him anyways. Not beyond what he would ever want, because you need to understand, really honestly, normal people, okay? Then you get, let's say a hunter that's got good tracking skills. Then you get somebody like me who does it his whole life is here. Then you get those native trackers that are incredible, amazing trackers. Then you get the Sasquatch right off the scale. So when you're talking about, I'm trying to explain to people here about the Sasquatch that are up here, and I'm kind of in the middle, but they're at such a level, guys. Like, there's such a mastery. There's just the stuff they know about. Can you even just imagine? Because they're taught through 20,000 years of experience, and then they compete against each other, and they do it every day. It's a lifestyle for them. They never not track. It's everything to them. Everything they do. The ground is like Google to them. Tells them where the bighorn sheep are. The plants that are growing tell them, oh, it's that time of year for this berry, or the strawberries are over here. The way the sun comes up tells them which way the wind gauge is going to move, and how you can move in a different direction so nobody picks up your wind. Like, these guys live and breathe tracking. It's a daily thing for them. I do it, 80 days a year. And I'm not trained by that level. I don't have their sense of smell. I don't have their sensory perceptions. Like, they're just so, man, above us. Like, oh my God, killing us. So really try to keep that in mind. Music is what they love. I would love to figure that out. I just never, a lot of what I do, it's like I'm blind in the dark, Like, let's say a Sasquatch is coming around and I'm playing music. For all I know, I turn the music on and they leave. I don't know. If I had a thermal, that's why the thermal drones are so important and really going to become part of this research, because I need to know what I'm doing is bringing them around or scaring them off. And I don't know that. I'm not, it's so hard to accumulate that evidence. So it's, yeah, I think you're probably right, though. Good evening, everyone. Merry Christmas. Hello, Sasquatch Wizard Adirondacks. Thank you very much for coming in today. Probably 100 questions on here. Citizen scientists, they are good pieces of evidence, but it won't get them recognized. Well, it has been, Andy. Jeff used the tracks to have them recognized by the scientific community, and it didn't. Nobody seemed to care. So, Wolfgang Bros Photography. Merry Christmas, my friend Darren. Thank you very much. Darren is the star of. Aren't you in 2 episodes, you brat? Of the Tracking Sasquatch show. I tried not to put him in, but he keeps showing up, and he's always coming around, and he gets good results. So it kind of, yeah, there's definitely lots of special things about Darren because he gets really good success, and I have amazing success. Kyle is missing the Canadian Rockies. Well, you know what, Kyle? Just in case you weren't aware, Colorado has the biggest Rockies, and the Rocky Mountains start in Colorado and go all the way to Alaska, right through the United States into Canada, then back into Alaska, which is the United States. And the smallest Rocky Mountains are in Alaska, and they get linearly bigger as you go to Colorado. So, and that chain is unbroken, and there's Sasquatch up and down that chain. There's not going to be more than a 50-mile stretch where you're not going to find evidence of Sasquatch on the Rocky Mountains of North America. So those green guys finding Bigfoot use music instruments, would they really work? Seems like dumb ideas unless it works. Yeah. No, I don't think it's, try something, try new. I have this, there's a picture of me on Instagram with Kyle and another person I'm training, Craig. And Craig always likes to do new stuff. He pushes me out of my comfort zone. He's like, man, there's nothing happening. Let's go do this. Let's get out there in the dark. Like, Craig had me walk out to the apples in the pitch black. We went for a bike ride in the night. He had headlamps on, and we got charged at by a bear. It's I don't know. It's he pushes things, and it's dangerous, and it's a little bit irresponsible. But you got to take risks. No risk, no reward, right? So I appreciate the way he pushes me. What kind of tree breaks mean don't come this way? My theory is only, like I say, my theory is if you get multiple tree breaks pointed at a trail, the trail's okay, but going off the trail against where the tree breaks are. So if the tree break is pointed here, going there, is my theory is where they don't want you to go. So just my theory, though. And I break it all the time. That's exactly what I do. It's for me, it's the opposite. I go where they don't want me to go. That's where I go, but they don't really respond. So hey, Todd and everyone. Hi, Kelly. Awesome, Todd. Kelly Burns, Florida. Thank you. I need to come to Florida so bad. So need to come there. Kyle, I bet them mountains are much larger than ours over here. Yeah, Adirondacks are beautiful, though. I don't like to make any kind of comparisons. The Adirondacks are gorgeous. Just different, just beautiful in a different way. So what I like is I like an ecosystem where I'm really drawn to Nordegg. Nordegg, they have low bush cranberries, the bunch berries that are in radium. Bearberries are in both places, but just the cranberries are only in Nordegg, and then they got a couple other species. I like abundance, right? I like to have lots of food sources. So and that's what I love about a spot. Even not just the food sources though. I like to have an abundance of species, right? I like to see a healthy ecosystem. So yeah. Hi Todd, love your videos. I'm concerned about your health. Why do you cough so much? Cough because I damaged my lungs really, really badly going up to high altitudes and below -20 weather. But I'm recovering dramatically. I'm doing really good. Okay, that's the tallest Sasquatch you ever came across? Yes. Oh, what's the tallest? So I answered that question already. Joker John Roberts, the ones that are actually blocking the road or trail. That's a good point. Thank you, Andy. You know what? That's probably the most important thing. You're totally right, Andy. Thank you for cueing me to that. When I go into an area and I'd really tick them off, it was on Survivor Man, actually. It's probably where Andy's mentioning it from. I would literally have to push past the tree breaks. Those were the times where they were like, they clearly don't want me to be here. And there was more to it than that. I mean, obviously the tree breaks, but I'm telling you, I felt energy like, man, they don't want me to go this way anymore. They don't want me in here anymore. And most of the time I didn't go back in there after that. It was literally like after I'd go get a video or I'd really be pushing them in inappropriate ways. If I try to go back that same way, I would literally have to push through the tree breaks. And that is such a good point. Busting trees over the pathway. And you could see it too. Sometimes they'll bust trees. It's crazy. Or even bust multiple trees. Because what you'll say too is, so sometimes trees fall over in the wilderness. It's the wilderness. It happens. But it's just you get like a live, healthy tree that's fallen over that was in good earth, and then another one and another one. You gotta start adding it up. There's something going on here, right? And that in combination with tree breaks is a really powerful sign that, damn. Merry Christmas to everybody. Thank you so much, guys. And Lunik. Hey Todd, watch me on Bigfoot Odyssey. I'm sharing news. Oh, that's cool. That's fantastic. I'm glad to see you got on there. Hi, Anita. Kyle Cody, Todd, I've always wondered this about the structures they build. Do you think they use them as a form of markers for directional purposes? There's a direction. There's no doubt about that. We were seeing north, south. We were seeing clockwise, the way they're built. I think what I'm seeing is, and this is in the really fun, I need a lot more work on this, but I think what I'm seeing is it's a potentially a representation of the individuals in the troop, the important individuals, or maybe the individuals that built that structure at the time. So I think it's a representation of the troop at the time. So it's just a theory that I have, but it's built in a way to show intelligence, and the individuals that built it are aware of direction, aware of clockwise. That's really important, right? So they always build them clockwise, and you'll see north, south, east, west in it. It's really cool. These are very intelligent beings. They show direction, so an intelligent being will pick up that this isn't like when they send a spacecraft off to communicate with aliens. They do the prime numbers, right? 1, 2, 3, 5. That shows any intelligent being will recognize that mathematics, which is actually kind of funny because if you build a spacecraft and send them up into space, obviously you're pretty intelligent, right? Any intelligent being, I always thought that was funny, but it's just a serious sign of intelligence. Yes, Kelly, I haven't heard from you in a while. You've been hanging around with standing goats rescue. I don't know what it means. Phil, you listening? Don't know if Phil's here today. What are some of the best and most accurate documentaries you've ever seen? I like the Leonard Nimoy one. What was that one called? Leonard Nimoy did a voiceover for a Sasquatch one that I liked. It was A&E one, and then just Sasquatch Meets Science, if that's what it's called. Sasquatch, yeah, I think it's Sasquatch Meets Science. I like Jimmy Chilcott. I got to talk to him a couple times. I'd love to work with him. I'd love to get him to testify in a court case. Now, if I'm going boondocking, what's the safest thing to take to keep possible Bigfoot away? They're going to decide to stay away from you or not. So to keep them away, the things that would likely keep them away would just be a jerk and make a mess. Don't do that though. So yeah, if you're toxic, if you're toxic and you eat poorly, they'll probably stay away from you. If you smoke, you're drinking Coke and eating potato chips, and they'll smell all that toxicity on you. But these are things that you don't want to do. Don't do that. Stay healthy. And if they want to come around, it's their home. They live there. We're just visitors. By definition, by legal definition, wilderness is a place where man does not reside. So it's their home, and respect that. I sure do. So, no, I have not been so busy. Hello, Kelly. Have you ever took a dog? Yeah, I took a dog. My dog, my Ari. She's just right over there. And it went terribly bad. The Sasquatch tormented her. I've spoken about it before quite a bit. Please subscribe to the channel. That's fantastic. Thanks for the support. Thank you, Andy, for mentioning that. Lenita, your experiences are incredible. Hello, Blue Ridge Mountains. So Sasquatch Wizard. Hello, Rhonda Williams. Thank you. We have the creature here for sure. What? Oh, Rhonda Williams. Where are you from, Rhonda? Bigfootencounter@gmail.com. We'd love to hear about it. So, Southern hospitality. I'll tell you, there's Northern hospitality. You get it when you come see me on expedition. I'm happy that Southerners take pride in their Southern hospitality, but Northern hospitality is absolutely fantastic. That's what I do. Hello, Logan. The first time you saw a Sasquatch, that was video 2. Yeah, a long time ago. I remember seeing that Sasquatch. So it's video 2. It's on YouTube. It's the Sasquatch that stands up, and another Sasquatch. You can't see the Sasquatch coming by, but he stands up to let a Sasquatch come by, and then he ducks back down again. And I was sure it was a guy. I was sure it was some native guy who had this really cool costume, and he built it. Some guy who could make muckalucks and all those beautiful headdresses that native make. Just no problem. Probably made it out of bear skin. And I was wrong. It was a Sasquatch, and they are real. So they're real. I need your email so I can send you a copy of my experiences with Bigfoot. If you, I would love to hear that. Bigfootencounter@gmail.com. So I'm sure it'll get posted down here. I have an area. There's a white one and tracks and structures. Yeah, again, we'd love to hear about that, please. So, and there's a chat room on the website discoveringbigfoot.org. Offer ends. Any activity there? Oh, opposite ends. Any activity there ever? I don't know what that question means. How do you think a Bigfoot will react to human 7 foot plus? I think funny thing. I think they would be interested. I think that's an interest in them. A big guy. Yeah. Oh, there it is. Check out the Discovering Bigfoot forum. Become a member. Yeah. So there you go. There's the forum. And I'm just, right now, guys. I gotta get that documentary finished. I got so much stuff going on. It's a tremendous amount of work. So I'm really focused on that. Here's a link. What's that link to? Sasquatch Wizard put a link up there. I would just trust someone, click on it, because yeah, I definitely trust Jonathan. Want to take pictures, please? Yeah, take pictures if you can. Yeah. Gather evidence. Be careful. Merry Christmas from Alberta here. Thank you. Yeah, I'm in Alberta. Hi, Sasquatch Wizard. Okay, just a couple more questions. If I ever go out looking for a Bigfoot, it would have to be with you, Joe Rogan, and Brock Lesnar, and Keanu Reeves. Well, that would be fun. Yeah, Brock Lesnar is up. He comes to Saskatchewan to go hunting, and yeah, Joe Rogan gets his moose up here in Canada. So just a few more questions. Greeting from Wisconsin. Such a Christmas treat to listen. Ah, thank you so much from Wisconsin. How powerful are they? It's crazy. I can't even. The power that my expeditioners and I have witnessed is like gorillas are so powerful. Gorillas are so strong, and double the power of a gorilla. Well, they're double the weight, right? Gorilla's 400 pounds, Sasquatch is 900 pounds. So they're more than double the weight. But it's more than that, though, guy. You're dealing with a cold weather primate. So that means a lot. That means they can have slow twitch and fast twitch muscle fibers. Like bears are so powerful. A 400-pound bear would rip limb from limb a 400-pound gorilla. We know this. Nobody doubts it. I've had primatologists come out there. Even power for power, bears are much stronger than gorillas. Like noticeably, probably 50% stronger than a gorilla, because they're a cold weather animal, a cold weather species, a cold weather mammal, more specifically. Because in the tropics, if you have too much dense muscle, you overheat. So you have to have an ability to cool off. Out here in the colder weathers, like even it's always cold here. There's always cool weather, and in the winter it's freaking cold. So you need to have that ability to generate significant amounts of heat. With more compacted, more heat generating muscles, you get more power, and they have more size. So I'm actually, and I just made a decision right now. I'm going to say 2.5 times the power of a gorilla is my assessment. Because again, because of the cold weather and because they are even bigger. And I think I'm way too under on my weights. I really am. 9 foot Sasquatch is not. He's not 900 pounds. He's more like 950. So my guy is 950, maybe 1,000. I'm being conservative when I say 950, right? So very, 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 very impressive. So all new footage will featured in upcoming documentaries. Yeah, it's true. So how many different species of Bigfoot? Just one species that I know of. And one more question. Hey Todd, hello from Vermont. Why do you think they don't have flyer, or can they make it? What does that mean? Why do you think they don't have flyer? Flyer, or can they make it? Oh, fire. I've never seen any evidence of fire in any way, shape, or form. Could they make it? No, they won't make it. Ever. And I explain that to my expeditioners when you come up here, because fire represents technology and they fear technology. They're raw. They're naked. They're touching everything. They're feeling everything. Their feet touch the ground. They'll always be that way. They're never going to put shoes on. They don't put gloves on. Do you understand? They don't put skins on. They embrace nature. And if you start making fires, you start cooking your food, it's technology, you start to become dependent on it, you need fires to survive. They don't do that. They are raw in nature. That's the short answer. There's a lot more to it than that. But that'll be my live show for today, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. You guys are awesome. So I'll be back next week. But you all have a wonderful holiday season. For me, my people, we're crazy. We celebrate the coldest, darkest day of the year and give presents, and family gets together, and it's one of the most magnificent days of the whole year. So wonderful, happy holidays to all you. Everybody, take care. All those people who ordered that Jake. Oh wait, all the people that ordered Jake and Jane stuff, which actually is here, just a little buried under my hard drives for I'm doing the movie. But so all the people that ordered this stuff. So here's the Jane one. I'm seeing them up. We get lots of photographs. So everybody who's ordered them, they're out. They're gone. They're on their way. So hopefully you get them before Christmas. But if you don't, it'll just be a couple days after. So yeah, they're all sent out, and I'm really, really proud of these. So super, super happy about that. So Merry Christmas, and let's it's going to be a great 2022. I'm really looking forward to it. So y'all take care of yourself, and find lots of happiness and joy in the holiday season. And I'll be back for sure 100% next Wednesday. Until then, take care.